South Africa making it to their first ever ICC World Cup final, regardless of format, was always going to be a noteworthy achievement. And the fact that they were up against Afghanistan, another side who had scripted a semi-final run that was in many ways a fairy tale, was always going to make this particular match a must-watch for a lot of cricket fans, even if they were neutrals. However, a lot of people were left disappointed, not necessarily by the outcome, but the manner in which we got there. Why? Because once again, we are going to be talking about the pitch. The pitch that came about in the Brian Lara Stadium at Tarouba, Trinidad. Well, let's just say it left a lot to be desired as far as being a good T20 pitch. Now, before we're clear, I'm not asking for, let's say, flat tracks which will offer no lateral movement, no seam movement, no spin, no swing, nothing which any batter can hit through the line and get sixes for fun. It's not the kind of pitch I want, or which a lot of cricket fans wanted, but one that would give a bit more of an even contest. This though wasn't it. You were getting on average far more bounce, there was plenty of seam movement early, and the Afghanistan batters understandably looked a little bit at sea, which is perhaps why it's no wonder that Afghanistan head coach Jonathan Trott absolutely tore into what the pitch was. In fact, this is what he said. He said that I don't want to come across as it being a case of sour grapes, but that's not the pitch that you want for a semi-final of a World Cup. And again, I'd be hard-pressed to disagree with what it is he said. You've reached the semi-finals, you want thrilling matches. The best thing to do would be to produce pitches where the skills of batters and bowlers come into play. It's a pitch that has something in it for everyone, but only if you can really apply your skills. This was the kind of pitch though that was very spicy in the first half of the innings, but was a little bit easier in the second innings, and South Africa, aided by that, as well as the fact that they had absolutely no scoreboard pressure, made very light work of the run chase. Now, it was so bad, the pitch, that even South Africa acknowledged that it was a very, very tricky one to play on, with South Africa skipper Aiden Markram having this to say after the game. He said, yeah, it's quite tough when referring to the pitch. A batter is not going to lie and say that once you get it up and down, it doesn't play a role in your mind. And that's exactly what was happening. It was a pitch with a little bit uneven bounce. Some were absolutely shooting up, some staying a little bit on the low side. There's plenty of movement early, and as Markham says, it's going to play on the mind of any batter, particularly in a format where you know you have to play high-risk cricket, but where if you're on a pitch like this, playing high-risk cricket becomes next to impossible. In fact, it wasn't just people associated with Afghanistan or South Africa who had problems with this, it was also some fans. In fact, if you go through social media, and we've heard a few reactions for you to check out in this video, in general, you'll see that the sentiment hasn't been a very overwhelmingly positive one towards the pitch on offer. For instance, you have this fan here saying that fair play to South Africa, they deserve finalists, and it's hard lines for Afghanistan, but that pitch being produced and used for a showpiece T20 semi-final is an absolute disgrace. Another fan says that, nah man, they did Afghanistan bad by giving this kind of a pitch. It wasn't a T20 pitch by any means, and it only gets worse on from here near out, because again, you've got this fan saying that bad luck Afghanistan, they have done well in the entire tournament. Definitely today was not your day. Then after tagging the ICC, he said, please provide a better pitch for the semis and at least a day to practice. Disappointing. Yet another fan said that this was history in the making. South Africa has reached their first ever World Cup final, a big day for South African cricket. Gutted for Afghanistan, they were exceptional in the whole tournament, but suffered here because of a sub-par pitch. And this fan said it best, and in all caps, the substandard pitch by ICC for the semi-finals is unacceptable for either team. And I have to agree with this. I don't think I would have been saying anything different if it had to be South Africa on the receiving end, having been put into bat first, or if they had won the toss and elected to bat first, which Aiden Markram did admit was something that was on their minds. If they had been batting first and been dismissed for a low score, even then many people would be saying, listen, that's not the kind of pitch you want for a semi-final. You want a pitch that, let's say, will provide an even contest between bat and ball. The bad news is, if you're someone who's not a fan of these kind of pitches, you're going to be getting potentially a similar one for the India versus England game as well, assuming of course you get a game at all. But what are your thoughts on the kind of pitches we've seen not only in this semi but through the tournament as a whole? You can let us know that in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell icon, follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, X and Facebook. Don't forget to download the Sports the Cap, and if you're already on the channel, go ahead and check out some other videos we've done as well. For now though, from my side, it is goodbye.